Hey there, just waking up. I got a lot of stuff to do today. I wasn't planning on doing a video. The little dictator is coming over. I'm gonna watch some movies, spend some time with the future ruler of the world, my daughter. But as you guys know, I have been covering the Dr. Disrespect situation for everybody who's new and doesn't know the lore. In short, a person I followed back in my younging days, or a young adult, this YouTube space, the infamous, famous gaming guy, Doctor Disrespect, play Call of Duty, things like that, was accused. Long story short, he was accused of inappropriate messages to a minor. Now, he had a chance to come out with a statement, and in his statement, he admitted to talking to a minor, which he first deleted from the state when everyone called him out. It was put back into the statement. A lot of weird things, that didn't quite add up. So finally, Dr. Disrespect took some time off, cleared his head, got his ducks in a row and came out with a response. Now, a YouTuber I really like by the name of the Act Man, he's pretty funny. I'm going to be playing his video, and the link is in the description below, so you can check out his video he just posted, which made me aware that Dr. Disrespect had made a comment, was so ridiculous that I had to play it with you guys to go over just the absolute absurdity of the statement that he came out with. This is some shit that even uh, Chris Hansen would have a hard time believing. This is wild. And because of the fact that I guess myself, I have a daughter, I felt I needed to cover these things. Also, I'm going to be doing another big story, but I'm going to be waiting for that because it's going to be a bigger kind of two-part thing I'm going to be covering. But this is my rise of narcissism series. I have also featured Colleen Ballinger, who seems to be trying to make a comeback. Let's hope that, all of the videos I've made on that person, geez, I don't know what's going on with YouTubers. Like, all of these big YouTubers are getting exposed. And I guess it's only a matter of time when you're shitty and, you keep shit in your closet. So we're going to take a look at this video. And I wanted to bring this up quickly because I do have like an hour or so. And so I'm just going to kind of go through the video presented by the Act Man here. We're just going to kind of take a look at the new allegations that are being, uh, you know, proven or disproven. Who knows? Let's take a look.
This is the Act Man here, and today Dr. Diddler has crawled out of the bog to make his triumphant
That's
return
hilarious.
to streaming. Now, I'm assuming you're up to speed on the whole Dr. Disrespect controversy. If you're not, well, I have a video covering the whole thing.
And
Suffice to say, Doc was accused of...
Definitely go check out the Act Man's first video on this. Very a brief kind of condensed version that will fill you in on what exactly the allegations are, what he's being accused of. It's been wild how many people have made just the most just crazy defenses trying to defend. And even in the oh, this is woke people coming after him, and I just feel, and given by the nature of the response, that this is a very different situation. And yeah, it gets more nuts.
Of sending inappropriate texts to a minor. He later confirmed that he sent inappropriate texts.
Now, I just want to read this right here. That in this statement, he did confirm, which was on, and I think it's still on Twitter. It's absolutely the worst offense that I've ever seen anybody post.
To a minor, and
he's like, as you can see right there,
inappropriate texts to a minor. He later confirmed that he sent inappropriate texts to a minor. And
see, he said right there, he said he sent whispered chats. Like, basically just confirming. So there's going to be a lot of things he's going to have to debunk in this statement when you yourself come out and confirm it and then try to delete that portion of your statement off does not look very good.
At that point, after confessing, he later took the word minor out of the tweet and then put it back into the tweet, his written confession on Twitter. And so he's been on vacation for about a month. So he has had time to think about what he would tell his audience and present to them when he comes back to stream. Ladies and gentlemen, he did just that in his latest stream titled The Truth. Oh, finally, we're going to be getting the messages or some kind of evidence presented because we don't have any fucking evidence. We just have a confession and some accusations and testimony. But you know what? Fair's fair. We're going to listen to what he has to say and give him a fair shot to.
And I want to just say, that's the thing too. With a lot of these cases, I like to be fair here, right? I want to give people a fair shot. And so it's really important when you go live, and I've had this experience happen. When you go live and you go to say something about some serious accusations, right? And now here's what I'm hoping from this statement. He's going to be out of character. He's going to come to us not as Dr. Disrespect, but as a man of the people and give a good, resounding response, to sway the doubts and maybe illuminate some of these accusations, come with receipts, right? And be like, hey, look, guys, look, I might have said this and that, but there was never an intent or whatever. And, whatever. Now, keep in mind, he is actually about my age, accused of talking to someone underage at a time where he's married with a wife and kids. So just for a second, taking out the legal of it all, from a moral and ethical standpoint, this doesn't look good. But hey, Hollywood has immoral people. No one's perfect. You know, uh, what you believe in is subjective. But still, from an ethical standpoint, this is wrong. So let's see what the doc has to say, right? He's going to come to us as a man. He's not going to put on a character. Let's see what he does. I hope it's some hard-hitting, real deal. He's going to come to us as a genuine person.
Defend himself, even though I don't think he really deserves it. So let's take a look at Doc's response to the allegation.
So here's the
this time
response.
in video format.
Yeah, just keep ignoring the issue and putting up this act. I'm so concerned and worried about everyone else's problems except mine because...
Now, I'm not a lawyer. I'm no expert on legal stuff. But that is a terrible way to start a apology video. I don't understand. I just don't get it. Okay, maybe it gets better. Maybe it gets better. Let's see what the doc has to say.
I'm dealing with a deeper depression, and I like to project.
Who could be projecting in this situation? I wonder who's projecting. Is it the random YouTube commenter who's curious about what Doc's been doing for the last month? If the allegations are true or not? Or is it the guy who's accused of inappropriately texting minors? Who could possibly be projecting any kind of insecurity about something? He starts off with the no you strategy. What, me? Address the highly controversial allegations? You want me to do that?
Exactly. This is ridiculous. Why would you start your video? Okay, I got to do a rant here for a second. So this man is being accused of very serious accusation. I just want to say, folks, this is some very serious accusations on having inappropriate conversations with a minor, and comes on as your fucking character. And then you play the whole, why should I have to defend myself? Because you are being accused of something absolutely horrendous, and it is on you to prove that you are not. You came out in a statement and admitted to doing what you're accused of, erased it, and then put it back in. So yes, it is on you to clarify to everybody why these aren't true, to give us some kind of clarification, like everybody. And I hate this whole thing. Well, drama people are picking this up, and people should pick this up because this shit shouldn't be allowed. That is absolutely horrendous, and that is a horrendous opener. This might be worse than Colleen Berger and the fucking ukulele. That I almost respect, for the person knowing they don't give a fuck and just giving everybody the middle finger. But the dancing around the issue and going, no, 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 it's not me, it's you who's wrong. I've seen that a lot on particular shows that maybe NBC used to have that had a journalist named Chris Hansen. I don't know. That's just my hot take, really quick.
You must be depressed. It's like not too far off something that low tier God would say.
You serve no purpose in life. Your purpose in life is to be in my stream sucking on my dick daily.
It's not quite there, but not too far off.
Yeah, low tier God.
I do appreciate it. I do appreciate it.
A lot of fools. There's probably a lot of people who have fond memories of Dr. Disrespect, and they want to believe that he's innocent. Now, we can't.
I would love to believe that Dr. Disrespect is innocent. I would love to believe. You never want, especially people that you follow, you never want this shit to be true. But at the end of the day, me wanting something and then looking at the evidence, as I have when I've covered like all sorts of stuff with Alec Baldwin, Ezra Miller, Colleen Berger, Nexium, all of that stuff. It's not a matter of what I wish the world to be, but how everything is and how it is presented. And to me, this is absolutely horrendous. Absolutely horrendous.
Can't forget that he confessed initially. So whatever he says in this video, he's got to recant that confession, right? In some way.
After what's transpired over the last couple months, am I excited to be back to this type of world?
What type of world, Doc? A world in which the general public views you as a groomer and a predator? That type of world?
1v5, huh? Can they reconnect or no?
My God, read the room.
A world where you admitted to that? What type of world do you think Dr. Disrespect is talking about? Could it be a world infested with woke, perhaps?
Up yours, woke moralists.
So September 25th is basically when we can reapply for partnership on YouTube.
September 25th, I just want to say that would be crazy if the partnership program winds up to. That's just nuts to me. I don't even know how that some of these people aren't banned. And I'm going to be covering another major story that broke. I'll be bringing that to you in a couple of days about another crazy popular streamer. And just like this crazy shit, but it's like, how do these people still money? I guess money. It's just nuts to me. I cannot, for the life of me, figure out how this shit is still fucking allowed. It is nuts. It is absolutely fucking nuts.
Ooh, there's an interesting question. Should he be allowed back into the YouTube partner program?
Fuck no.
I don't have the answers. But if I was in Doc's position, you know what would really help right now? You know what really helped me when I got demonetized? Having the fucking receipts readily available. When YouTube came at me on Twitter and said, the reason that you were demonetized, I'm paraphrasing, the reason you were demonetized is you made direct or serious threats against YouTube staff. I quickly posted the things they were talking about, and everybody saw it. Like 99.9% of people saw that and like, yeah, he's clearly joking. Ackman is joking. This, like,
yeah, that's crazy. So picture you actually have to have some kind of proof, or that's just nuts to me. I don't understand. I don't.
If you're in this position, Doc, why haven't you done that? Why didn't you do that? Because maybe there's some truth to the allegations that he can't just outright disprove them.
So in the meantime, we'll do what we need to do. I enjoy my time here on YouTube. We've built a nice, strong community.
All down the drain because you just couldn't control yourself.
For almost 4 years, the public demanded to hear from the doc regarding the Twitch suspension. I guess since you all missed the point with my personal statement.
It was our fault. It was our fault. We all misread that tweet incorrectly. Sorry. Oh, it was my fault? You're right. I take full responsibility.
It's like that personal statement didn't explain anything. Much like this video that's been going on for a bit, nothing is explained. Nothing's made clearer. There's no evidence disproving any of these charges. It's just a lot of talking about nothing.
For misinterpreting your tweet where you admitted to sending inappropriate messages to a minor. That's on me. That's on me, fellas.
You see, there was a lawsuit pending, and as part of that arbitration, all parties were not allowed to speak publicly about the case. I respected those rules.
Can we talk about why those are the rules, though? Like, let's say you're in Dr. Disrespect's position. And again, I've been there when I was accused of something pretty terrible and my channel was demonetized. Obviously not on the same level as Doc, but I've been in that position where you're accused of something. I wanted people to know the truth. I wanted to show people, hey, what YouTube is saying I didn't actually do. For me.
And that's just the thing, right? Like, if you are accused of something, the most first and logical thing, if you are innocent, is to get out there in front of the rumors and to provide receipts and evidence and say, hey, I didn't do what everybody's accusing me of. The fucking weirdest part about this whole thing is that throughout all of this, and this has been one of the craziest things that I've been covering, because throughout all of this, I have not seen a shred of evidence the other way. Like, there is some funny Twitch stuff. We'll get to that, which seems like Twitch as a platform as a whole is just scummy. And it's part of the reason I've never really been into doing that. I tried for some gaming shit, but it just wasn't for me. But from what I hear, over at Twitch, there's a lot of shit that's crazy over there. So, I do believe part of this could be attack on Dr. Disrespect and his brand and people just not liking him. But, even if that's the case, the actual accusation is still a real thing. It still stands. So that doesn't excuse what you're being accused of. It's just that simple.
Me to say this, I do not understand. If Dr. Disrespect is innocent, why he would settle for less. Why he would settle for keeping his innocence secret. Ask yourself that question. Why would he agree to this? In arbitration, both parties have to agree that it's going to remain private. Now, you might say, oh, you didn't want to go through a lawsuit. Yeah, I get that. Sure. This is your Twitch channel. This is your brand. This is your personality. If people don't know the reason why you were banned, you have to have the foresight to know that's going to follow you wherever you go. So
not to mention, too, that is going to lead people into guessing what's going on and into a lot of conjunction, and that's already going to mess up your fan base. So it's 100% true. Like, this is how you make money. Why would you not defend that? And I'm sure Dr. Disrespect's got shit ton of money, can afford premium lawyers. You lawyer up and you fight that shit, unless what they're saying has some truth, and if you took it to that court, you would not win.
The sooner you quash the allegations, the sooner you can move on with your life. But that's not what Doc has done.
My lawsuit against Twitch was eventually resolved, as you all know. But even then, as part of the settlement, all parties were still prohibited from speaking publicly about the case or the settlement.
Again, why would you agree to that? If you have been so obviously wronged by Twitch and you can prove it, you'll get your money and your reputation back. So why settle for less? Ask yourself that question, people.
And again, I respected all the confidential obligations.
So you're still kind of playing the whole legally, I did everything right. Legally, while going through the legal process, I didn't break the law. It's a sort of like argument that's distance from the actual allegation, because being charged with a crime and committing a crime are, in fact, two different things. Just because someone was not charged with a criminal offense does not mean a criminal offense occurred, okay?
How many people have been that have been, and I've covered them. They've been charged with or they've been accused of a criminal offense, but never charged. I mean, we have Ezra Miller. We had Alec Baldwin go through the lawsuit and skate right past that. I mean, we had OJ get away with murder. Just because you're charged with or you're accused of a crime but never charged doesn't in fact mean you didn't do it. Doesn't in fact mean that people don't know you didn't do it. It was just legally, from a legal standpoint, as he said, he was legally never charged with a crime. That doesn't mean you didn't do the crime. That just means a court of law can't prove you did the crime. And I mean, oh, well, sure, we could look at this from like a moral or a religious standpoint and be like, well, he's got to live with his responsibility. But clearly, he's dodging his responsibility. And he's lying to people as if because he was never charged, that in fact means you didn't do it. But if the evidence suggests otherwise, then there's just not the burden of proof to prove you did it. But that doesn't mean you didn't do the crime. That doesn't mean all of the facts don't point to what they are, just plain as day. And it's crazy. I mean, sometimes it's nuts, it's wacky, but sometimes the legal system doesn't get it right. Sometimes they get it wrong. Sometimes people are accused of things they never did. And they sit in jail for years until someone goes back through their cases and they go, whoops, our bad. You lost 15 years of your life for shit you didn't do. So, I mean, you could play this game in reverse. That's nuts. It's just absolutely lunacy.
Remember that. Evidence can exist. It can implicate a certain person. Perhaps an investigation was fucked up and that evidence became inadmissible.
Cody Connors, ex-Twitch employee, wasn't even involved, leaks Twitch's reported reason. Years later, why do this? What was the point? This was settled professionally.
Again, notice the pattern. This was settled professionally.
Yeah, and that's an interesting one too. Yeah, it was settled professionally, but I feel like ethically, there's a lot. And look, the Cody dude who leaked this, there's a lot of things with Twitch and around their employees and stuff like that. It could be a personal vendetta, whatever. It doesn't change the fact of how, even if this was personal, still ethically, this is pretty fucking bad. The fact Twitch didn't do anything about this and they settled
this
amazes
was settled
me.
professionally. Legally, I was not charged or convicted with a crime, so I'm all good on the morality scale.
And you, knowing how black and white the internet is, you decided, you fucking rat.
Oh, Dutch.
Oh my goodness, I hate ads in the middle of this. Although this looks like a good movie,
He's a rat.
Well, I mean, for what, Cody? Why?
Well, if you remember in his tweet, he said, fuck him and his boys. At the time, Nick Merckx was involved in a little controversy of his own. What do you think that part, fuck him and his boys, meant? Clearly, he had some beef with what Nick Merckx was saying at the time.
Did you not know the repercussions from spewing lies about the two-time?
Hell no.
Like, this is ridiculous to go on and do a defense, supposedly, of all of these serious accusations and to use your fucking catchphrase. Like, if I was coming to you guys with something serious happened, and I've had some serious things happen to me on this channel where I've still streamed, and I'm like, hey, I'm dropping the kneel before Zod, the General Zod bit, and I'm coming to you as myself, and I'm going to tell you what the real deal is. To still be in character is so weird to me. Like, I would think you would want to take this as seriously as possible and drop the brand for a second and just come as a fucking human being and be like, no, this person is full of shit. Even if you have a bit of a harsher tone, but doing this shit on camera as a character is so weird. So fucking weird.
Oh man, what the?
Bro, take off the fucking wig and address this like a man if you really
Yes.
are one. Holy shit. I'm not a psychologist, but I imagine that experience of him coming out of character, breaking character, and saying, I cheated on my wife on a live stream in front of his audience, that experience has followed him ever since. That has been very traumatizing for him and his career, I imagine. But I think maybe this DrDisrespect character is a way to try and distance himself from the allegations and from his past, as opposed to taking the fucking wig off and not being a cartoon character when you're addressing such serious things. Just a thought.
You said that I got banned from Twitch because I was a minor through Whisper's messages? Do you even know what the legal definition of is?
Oh, no.
I think, look, this is the court of public opinion. You are supposed to argue legal definitions in a court case. This is the court of public opinion. And if you have to resort to arguing against the legal definition of instead of saying, I didn't this person, it's not a good look.
Do you?
I mean, that's crazy to me because it's like, yes, everybody knows the legal definition. That's why this whole thing is going on. This is absolutely nuts that he would bring up, oh, do you know the legal definition, blah, blah, blah. It's like, yes, that's why everybody wants to know whether or not this is true. That's the point. My God.
Even know what the legal definition of is? I do.
You know, I'm something of a sexter myself.
I'll bet you know what the legal definition of is. I'll bet you have really, really deep insight into that matter. You must have thought about it or researched it quite a bit. Not my personal area of expertise, but you do you.
And yeah, I used Twitch as Whispers, but trust me, I wasn't anyone.
Objection! Inappropriate messages with the minor. You said you did that. You were...
There's so much to unpack here. Look, like, when you write something on the internet and it's there for everybody to see, and then you contradict your statement in a video, I don't understand how people don't get that stuff is posted forever, or people will take it, or they'll go through and they'll save clips and things like that. And that is so crazy that you would make the statement basically admitting you did something and then turn around on a video and say, well, I did not, as a matter of fact, do that. What do you mean? I pulled up the tweet when I was covering this. Your very own words. How are you going to say you didn't do it? And in a statement to defend yourself, you said you did it. I don't understand. That is fucking mind-boggling. Jesus Christ.
Responded to an allegation that you a minor. You said, yeah, I sent them inappropriate messages. What conclusion are we to draw from these two things? But now he's saying he was...
even if it isn't in that context, you still admitted of sending an inappropriate message in general. It might not be the definition of the texting thing. I don't want to say because YouTube gets finicky about that, but it was still inappropriate in nature. So saying you didn't send it, you clearly did, and you wrote you did, that's fucking ridiculous. This is the craziest shit I've ever heard.
Wasn't anybody. I just can't figure it out. Can't put two and two together. Doc is innocent, folks. He's innocent.
You also said the word minor, Cody. I even made sure that word was emphasized in my statement.
You made sure the word was emphasized, but then you took it out. Like,
just to make sure these so-called journalists would pick up on it. And boy, oh boy, did they ever, Jim.
So you purposely said that you sent inappropriate messages so that you can 4D chess people while you're defending yourself against claims of inappropriately talking to minors. This is some fucking next level evil shit. Maybe I should take notes.
Oh my God, he has brain damage. He has fucking brain damage. Are you a fucking idiot?
That's my response. I can't.
By the way, this is like a pre-written statement. Like, you guys can obviously tell that this has been rehearsed and written down. Is this part of that masterful gambit? Huh. I included the word minor in my written confession just to expose the corrupt journalists who had already reported that I had a minor in articles prior to me posting my confession. But no, I did that intentionally, just to fool you, just to trick you. The idea,
like, yeah, like, this is so ridiculous. This has got to be at least the most entertaining defense I have ever fucking watched of anybody. This is so crazy. Like, how anyone could still sit here with a serious face and defend somebody like this. Like, I don't understand it. This has got to be the most fucking ridiculous defense I've ever seen in my life. Like, this is bad. This is super bad.
that Doc is some kind of master manipulator pulling a bait and switch is more than just illogical. It's a shit PR strategy. And in my
it's
opinion,
super,
good old
super bad.
Occam's razor, the simplest answer is usually the correct one.
Oh my god, I hate ads.
Should I call 911?
Jesus Christ.
Doc posted that initial confession tweet, realized he fucked up, tried to edit the word minor out, realized he fucked up again, put it back in, and this is all just damage control. You can't reverse that, dude. You played your hand and you were bluffing. Okay?
Exactly.
You lost the poker game.
When you and all these so-called journalists, Cody, fired off your tweets, did any of you consider that the Twitch user may have been over the legal age of consent at the
Yeah, we did until you said it was a minor. You said it was a minor. So how are you supposed to deduce that it was someone of age? That's literally the whole fucking point. How is this a defense?
time of the messages?
Oh my god! Please don't tell.
That's how I feel.
People are actually believing this. This is insane. I know it's like he's exuding this air of confidence, this aroma of confidence, but actually listen to what he's saying, and more importantly, what he's not saying. Did you consider this person may have been over the legal age of consent? May have. Not this person was over 18. They may have been. Don't you find it a little suspicious that he keeps tap dancing around what the age of...
Yeah, that is another thing that I brought up too. If the person is of legal age, right? If you are talking to someone and you are 100%, hell, they're 18, 19, whatever your bag is, so like maybe from a moral perspective, people can say, ugh, that's kind of gross for somebody older, but it's within the bounds of the law. You'd be like, they're 18. You would have came out in the beginning and just said, I'm talking to an 18 or 19-year-old. I'm sorry, I'm married, I have a kid, and shouldn't be fucking doing it in the first place. But, you know, we all have weaknesses, and I just struck up a conversation with someone, my bad, and end of story. But it's not like a definitive answer. There's no like, oh, they were definitely not a minor. It's they may have been, possibly. Did you ever consider? Do you know? No, motherfucker, that's why I'm sitting here watching this. I don't fucking know. I want you to confirm or deny the shit that you are being accused of. Why am I sitting here watching a tap dance of, oh, they may have been the appropriate age? What was their age? If you have nothing to hide, how old were they? Can I get a fucking age of the person? They may have been older, and you just didn't read into it. Well, I'm not fucking psychic. What a bunch of horse shit.
The person actually was. Like, you're clearly not bound by the legal gag order anymore. How old was this person? Go on, say.
Yeah,
How old
say
was
the
this person,
age.
Doc? He won't
What
tell
was
us
their age?
because he knows it doesn't look good for him. Also, keep in mind he's arguing about the age of consent in like a particular state, which could mean it's 16 or 17. So basically, whoever this person was, we can say for certainty they were under the age of 18. And if you are 35, married, and have a child, you ain't got no fucking business messaging someone inappropriately that's under that age. You don't have...
That's facts. Just from a moral standpoint, that is just facts. Like, and I said this earlier, take out just the legal implications of what's being said right now, folks. The fact that you're married at 35 with a kid and you did this, is a whole can of worms on its own. But a minor, you're married and you have a kid and you're one of the biggest fucking YouTubers ever, that is fucking insane. That is bananas.
I don't have any business doing that to someone your age. You're fucking married, bro.
Exactly.
Why are we sitting here trying to justify this, bro?
Let's set the record straight. I never intended to meet this user ever. We never made plans to meet at TwitchCon or anywhere else, and in fact, we never met.
That stutter. A little suspicious to stutter on never. We never met.
Your bullshit accusations gave false courage to other former Twitch employees to make shit up as well.
Now look, the thing with the Twitch might not be true. Who knows? There's a funny shit going on with Twitch in general. That part I can believe. But the fact that you said, how do we know what their age is? I just want to point this out. So you say, how do we know what their age is? But then you turn around and say that you never met up. For me, when you make something like, as soon as you make a declarative statement like that, and then you go back through and then jump back on the defense and say, but we never made up and there was never any interaction. Well, if they were of age, it wouldn't fucking matter whether you met up with them or not. I mean, from a moral standpoint, then again, you'd be like, oh, I never cheated on my wife who has my kid. But the fact that you have to backtrack and say, well, we never met up, so you can have relations with them? How is this a defense? That's like saying, I had a gun, I was going to shoot someone, and I drove away. You know, the intent was there, but I didn't fucking murder them, so I'm good. What?
Okay, so just to keep track, first it was our fault for misinterpreting his message. Then it was the journalist who reported the story and talked to Twitch staff. It was the former Twitch employee's fault, Cody Connors, and also other staff at Twitch. So 4 people are at fault. None of them Dr. Disrespect. Got it.
I suspect all of you sort of planned and coordinated this attack.
Yes, everybody was sitting here on the internet. Like, I had nothing better to do today. Like, I'm going to pick up the little dictator later today. I had nothing better to do today. And I said, you know what? I think today, for today's show, I'm going to get on literally not fucking playing anything. And I'm going to just go after Dr. Disrespect because, like, you know, I don't know, a new game hasn't come out. This is fucking wild. The fact that this man who was talking to a fucking minor can come on this fucking platform in a defense and say, well, all of you guys reporting this sick shit, all of you guys saying this, well, you guys are launching a preemptive strike. Are you fucking kidding me? How many people on To Catch a Predator, if you ask them today, wherever the fuck they are, they wouldn't go, Chris Hansen had had people waiting for me when I sent these gross messages, and then the police arrested me, almost like I did something fucking illegal. It was all their fault. They lured me into this trap that I had clearly nothing to do with because, you know, talking to a minor is totally legal. Are you fucking kidding me? The people who come on with these defenses where they say everybody lured them into a trap because they're so big, no. You fucked yourself over. You were the one who clearly did the fucked up shit. And now you have to face the consequences of your fucking stupid choices. That is so asinine and ridiculous.
It was the deep state. I knew it was the deep state the whole time.
Oh, yeah,
It's all just
definitely
been
the
a
deep state.
conspiracy, man. All of it. Especially the tweet confessing. Your account was hacked. Just use the Quantum TV defense. Your accounts were hacked. You didn't
That would have
actually
made
say
more
those
sense.
things, bro.
These big-time publications, these journalists, these various outlets are sort of just gossip channels now. Don't you think, champs?
Fake news? Fake news?
Without any real journalism and real research happening. If these anonymous sources worked on the trust and safety team at the time of my Twitch suspension in 2020, then you would hope they would tell the truth. But apparently that's just too much to ask.
That's what people are doing.
I think your fans would expect you, if you had been wrongfully banned and your contract terminated without cause, for you to be truthful about that. Why would you not want the entire world to see how innocent you are? But you settled, you arbitrated it. Both parties wanted to keep it private, and that's what's important to remember. Both parties wanted to cover this up.
Yeah, so this is on Twitch too. So Twitch didn't say anything, And Dr. See, arbitration is there so that if something fucked up and shitty happens, Twitch doesn't look bad for letting this go on for however long it did, and the person who did it gets some kind of compensation for the time that they lost. That doesn't fucking mean it never happened. That is so fucking crazy to say, well, this was arbitrated, and if I was doing something illegal, both parties. No, that's why you do arbitration. So that the grimy shit doesn't come out and both people don't look like fucking idiots. That this defense has got to be one of the worst defenses I've seen in such a fucking long time. Like, I can't even believe if this was scripted, somebody would look at this and go, yeah, come out with that statement. That will definitely not make you look 100% fucking guilty. Jesus Christ, this is. Oh my God. You know what? I miss Colleen Ballinger and the fucking ukulele. I never thought I would say that. I miss the gossip train because at least with that, I knew she was giving me the middle finger. But to sit here and treat people like they're fucking stupid, to me, is a gross waste of time.
If these former trust and safety team members, and by the way, I know exactly who they are, actually had firsthand knowledge, then what they conveniently left out is 1. Twitch's trust and safety team, the same employees that decided to ban me, internally admitted that the whisper messages were not.
Do you have internal documents? I mean, you went through the court
Yes.
case. I mean, if you're not bound by the gag order, surely you can share some of this evidence that you're saying exists. You guys realize that all we have to go on are the accusations and the previous confession, okay? So until
exactly.
something else is provided beyond that, I think we're just mostly stuck at square one. I at least will say that Twitch probably fucked up the investigation to some extent. How they did that, I have no idea. All it seems like is that Twitch did not have altruistic reasons themselves for wanting to keep this private as well. Who knows, though?
And 2, Twitch's trust and safety team, the same employees that decided to ban me, internally acknowledged that the whispers did not constitute child sexual abuse material CSAM.
Well, thank God.
So, I mean, because the messages didn't. Yes, exactly. He can't share any evidence. But that's under that's under a gag order though. But that still doesn't matter if the Twitch staff is so intent on that, and they obviously broke the agreement by going on and making these accusations. Now, look, we could say, and I'm not defending Twitch because Twitch is a shitty platform to begin with. Like, yes, it could have been a way to fuck somebody over in general. But the fact of the matter is that there is no evidence either way. And if you have any proof, especially for serious accusations like this, I don't give a fuck what kind of order I was under. Look, when it comes down to it, and you have as much money as higher echelon YouTubers and Twitch streamers have, right? You get the best fucking lawyer, and I am releasing everything. And that is what people normally do. You know, fuck rules when someone clearly broke them. Now all bets are off. People can talk about it both sides, so release the evidence that you have. Unless you don't have any, or it still looks sketchy at best, and you don't want to bring about any more fucking rumors, so you're just trying to skate past the issue. And I've seen this a million fucking times. And to me, if it looks like a duck and it walks like a duck, and if it quacks like a duck, it's a fucking duck. It's not a zebra. I don't know what to say. If you have proof, you bring it up. If you don't, then you don't. He won the lawsuit. What I'm saying is, when the Twitch employee came forward and said what they said, they broke the terms of that. So legally, he can still get the money. He still won the lawsuit, and he can still provide evidence that he's innocent. Winning the lawsuit doesn't mean you can't say anything. If anything, if I won the lawsuit, I would provide the evidence. That's ridiculous to think because somebody won the evidence that they're not guilty. OJ got off on murder. OJ didn't do it. Are we going to go with that? He won that. Was he innocent? I don't know. I don't know what to say. That's ridiculous.
Thank goodness. It didn't constitute abuse material. You notice how he keeps referencing like legal terms, right? I didn't do anything legally wrong, but I'm still creepy and I still would have a teenager if I could have gotten away with it while I'm 35.
I would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for those meddling kids.
I'll say it again. Neither I nor the Twitch user exchanged any sexual graphic messages or images.
Why didn't you say that right from the get-go?
I even used the word inappropriate purposely.
See, he can't say, oh yeah, I fucked up. I didn't mean to put that in there, because that that makes him look like an idiot. So he has to proceed with this facade of confidence. I did that intentionally. All part of my master gambit, my ultimate plan.
And look at how it's defined by everyone, champs. Huh? Including these defaming articles.
Then sue for defamation. If they're wrong, sue for defamation. Fucking do it. Do it.
I 100% agree. If you are claiming that you were wrongfully sued, I will give you an example, because if you guys know, I covered the Heard and Depp stuff, right? When Johnny Depp was accused of all of this stuff, and then articles went after him, he went, and he didn't win, but he went to fucking England to sue The Sun. I mean, he didn't win that, and I'm pretty sure it's because of British law or whatever else. But if you are being accused of something and it is not, and I know defamation cases in general are a nightmare to try to prove, but at least get it out there to attack this issue head on. And since this has been going on, there has been blunder after blunder after blunder, especially your own statement that you released. I'm sorry, that statement in general, whether or not, I mean, the whole minor stake, that's crazy to me. That's crazy to me to go from, I meant to put it in there so everybody would say something. Why would you want to bring more heat on yourself? I would think you would want to not bring more heat on yourself. It's just it's so fucking ridiculous.
This is your entire reputation. You got banned from Twitch. You're not monetized on YouTube. This is having a serious effect on your career, your ability to make money, and your public image. Sue for defamation. Take him to court. Clean him out. But he won't, will he?
I'm sorry, but mutual bantering with inappropriate jokes taken out of context.
Hold on. Mutual bantering with inappropriate jokes. This is a question for anyone, let's say 25 and older, watching this video. Would you guys ever describe an interaction you have with a minor as mutual bantering with inappropriate jokes? Have you ever used those 5 words in order to describe any conversation you've ever had with another real human being? Didn't think so. Didn't think so.
How would each of you look if all of your private DMs, your text messages, your chats were looked at, dissected, and taken out of context by someone who's deliberately trying to find
Now, I do want to mention on hey, what's up, Carmel? I do want to mention one thing. When any of these things happen, it's a natural thing. Everything you've ever done gets dissected or whatever. That part of it, I'll give them that. Like, you look at any of these cases, but this is just the thing when you're that big of a figure, is that, yeah, everybody is going to look extraordinarily into your stuff. And that's the thing with being online presence. I've had some things happen to me personally where I had a situation doing a movie review, and somebody put some pretty personal info on my family and my daughter, which, you know, that shit happens when you do what it is we do. That part of it I don't agree with, and that's a pretty shitty thing to do. To get to your point, Thief Keef, I do have a video on this before where I broke down the statement. The basic highlight that people were talking about was in his statement. He said he admitted to having inappropriate conversations with a minor. That was the whole big thing. Now, inappropriate conversations can be loosely, but I just want you to keep in mind, even if we're taking the legal jargon out of it, when this happened, as this was happening, he is 35 years old, married with a wife and kid. So I've said this numerous times, just taking out the whole legalities of this situation, looking at this from even a moral or an ethical standpoint, you're still married with a wife and a kid, messaging somebody. I mean, that's not illegal. There's nothing wrong. I mean, technically, there's nothing illegal about that or criminal about that. But I'm just saying, any way you look at the situation, it's still not a good look. It doesn't matter if, you know, the minor part of it is the biggest issue, though, because not only are you married with a kid and extremely older than the person, but now you're married with a kid talking to a minor. It's just not a good look. So, well, I'm just going by the statement he said when he was inappropriately talking to a minor. I never used that word. I'm saying it's suspicious and it's illegal, but I gotta use that label because, like you said, we need to see. And this is the thing about it too. This is the biggest thing that pisses me off about this whole situation. Uh, Twitch on their end hasn't released anything, and on his end, he's not releasing anything. So this is all up in the air. And I look at this as like I have what's illegal? I would say sending inappropriate messages to a minor would be illegal. I don't know. I'm not a lawyer, but I would assume that sending inappropriate messages to a minor is illegal. Or, like, dude, that's how they catch people when Chris Hansen was doing a show. Like, you can't do that. I would say that is very illegal.
Inappropriate in those words.
So I will admit it's entirely possible that there was some greater conspiracy at Twitch to get rid of Doc, and he had messages that somebody saw and was like, oh, I could spin this a certain way. And that's exactly what they did. But if that's what they did, again, it falls back on why did you settle to keep all that private? Wouldn't you want the public to know that there was a conspiracy against you to get you off of Twitch and that you were wrongfully banned, your career and progress completely halted, and a stamp of shame forever labeled on you? Wouldn't you want to clear all that up if they were in the wrong?
And this is not a situation where a victim publicly accuses someone of wrongdoing. That never happened here.
Guys, the victim didn't come forward, so who knows if she even exists? Who knows how old this?
And you know what? I've heard this statement too. It's like I don't understand. Look, inappropriate can mean anything. I assume inappropriate means one thing. You talk to someone in a sexual manner, whether it's on the text through a phone, if it's a writer, that like I the the law investigated. No, the law did not investigate. Did you actually look up what happened? Twitch held their own internal investigation and they arbitrated it, which means it never went to court. So how did the law investigate it and then find anything out? I'm a little bit confused about that because from my understanding, that is not what happened. Twitch held an internal investigation on their own platform, which was then arbitrated when both parties decided. So that's an internal investigation done by the company accusing the person of doing what they said, and then both parties settled outside through arbitration. So how did the law get involved exactly? When was the court date? When was the person accused and then charged and then had to go to court? Once again, when I covered the Johnny Depp situation, they went to court. There was evidence, there was statements, there was a jury of their peers, there was a judge, and then they determined she was fucking lying and Johnny won and proved his innocence through abundance of evidence. So I'd say, when was the court case? Because I missed it. Because I covered Alec Baldwin and I know he got off of his court case, but I don't remember this court case. So I'm just a little bit I'm a little bit confused. I mean, I don't know. Arbitration doesn't sound like I don't even remember seeing anything about a court case, unless it was behind closed doors. But arbitration is not court. Arbitration is between both parties. Arbitration is specifically so they don't take it to court, from my understanding, where you have a mediator with both parties sitting in a room, and then they both hash out their differences internally for the purpose of not taking it to court. If that's my definition of arbitration. I don't know. Maybe I got it wrong. I'm not a legal expert, but that's how I understood arbitration works. Yes, so it was behind closed doors, and but still, that was internally between the two parties. I don't understand how this proves anything. Exactly. It was handled privately, so yeah, behind closed doors. I still don't understand how this proves that A, he was a talk to our minor, or B, there's no wrongdoing, or any of that. I don't understand how that proves anything, because I still have yet to hear in this video response any defense, receipts, documents, things proving that they in fact didn't do what they're being accused of doing. I think that's ridiculous. So if he won, why wouldn't he show the piece of evidence stating that? Why wouldn't you want to bring that up? If you were being accused of talking to a minor, right, would you not want to do everything in your defense, not show the text or show your evidence? There's still people who go to court and have evidence, and they show that. Dude, documents always come up on these things all the fucking time. There was literally millions of things on the Johnny Depp case that came to light. Videotapes that were submitted into evidence that still made their way on the internet. I don't understand how that you still can't defend yourself. I'm sorry. I'd have to disagree with that. I think if you have undeniable evidence, you would prove it. Okay, so if the evidence is sealed, is what you're saying. Okay, so there's no other way to defend yourself, like just clearly come out and state you didn't do it. I'm confused on how that. It's not designated to prove he didn't do it to talk to a minor. It's designed to prove that the conversation did not cross the line that is from a legal standpoint. Has legally not allowed to investigate child sex crimes in the United States. Very, very, very intriguing. Yes, I know when cases are publicized, it's a whole different boat, but still, there's still evidence and things that can't be shown in court cases. I get what you're saying, but I just feel like anybody who's ever defended themselves has come out and shown something or said clearly they didn't do it. I don't know what to tell you. I personally don't believe it. I mean, that's great. People are free to choose to believe what they want to believe. I'm just presenting what has been brought out there and giving my own take on it. And I personally think it's a shitty defense. Dude, I'm with you. I wish he could too. He did that, but no one believes him. I've read that statement that he put out. I didn't hear the part where he said he didn't do it. He did say he had inappropriate conversations with minors in that statement. And you know what? I have to go because I have to pick up the little dictator today. As a matter of fact, I have the future ruler of the channel coming. And you know what? Relax Planet, Keith, thank you for coming on the channel because look, if you haven't been here on the Phantom Zone, I do love debate and discussion, and I do not believe in uh, attacking people in the comments or in saying things like you're not allowed to have your opinion. My personal opinion is, to be quite honest with you, and look, I just want to get this out of the way. I've been on YouTube for a long time now, and personal note, I always liked his channel and the things he did with Call of Duty and stuff like this. But with all of this stuff coming out and with how seriously it is, personally, I don't give a shit if something was sealed or you could be countersued. Then countersued, because if you have the evidence to back up what you're saying, then that makes Twitch look even worse. And I don't imagine how they'd win that, to be quite honest with you. Even just say you didn't do it. Like, I've heard nothing definitive as far as that goes. And that is my whole point. Now, do I believe that Twitch is the bastion of healthy platforms, or that they give a shit if something did happen or if this is legit? No. I think Twitch was forced into saying something because that person came out. And do I think that person, Cody, whoever the fuck, had a vendetta? Very possibly. That's how this platform works. That's how all these platforms works. One person that gets a bug up their ass about you, and they will try to ruin your whole life. I'm just saying, I'm covering from the facts and the evidence that I see presented. And if we're being fair here, I see evidence presented from neither side. So at that point, you have to jump to conjecture, and you have to make your own decision on what you believe. And me personally, I believe this shit is all sketchy, to be quite honest with you. And there was a stream in the past where he admitted cheating on his wife. Now, I don't know if that has to do with this or if one has to do with the other, but I mean, at any point, it's little things that don't have a good explanation that keep on adding up to this really big thing that makes no sense, where I have no facts or evidence from either point. And and you know what? I never want these things to be true, because who wants a person that you like or listen to or look up to when you're starting out? Who wants to have that person turn out to be uh, this other person? Like, it's a terrible thing to hear. But this is where we are. And I mean, this has been rampant across a lot of huge YouTubers that have just been this crazy, grimy shit coming up. And I think at the end of the day, I will leave everybody off with this. At the end of the day, I think people forget one very important thing. YouTubers are people. Streamers, actors, actresses, people that we look up to all the time, at the end of the day, are people. They're flawed, and they're prone to make mistakes. They are prone to say things and do things that are stupid. But at the end of the day, if it's something big, if it's something that could hurt or has changed somebody else's life, then it does need to be addressed. Now, on the other end of that, if somebody is accused of something and they didn't do it, then that too needs to be made right. I mean, look at the tons of people who have been accused of stuff that was total bullshit and totally not true. And this is what I find fascinating about this story, because it walks a very morally grain. Like, when I covered Colleen Ballinger, there was no doubt. he is totally off the fucking rails, even with her response, right? But the thing about Dr. Disrespect that is different from the other stuff that I covered is we're walking a very morally fine line. And it's really hard to decipher, given how this whole thing went down. If what you guys are saying are true, Thief Keith and Relax Planet, right? If what you're saying is true, and then this is all being held up by legal mumbo jumbo, which I'm not saying you're wrong. It could be 100% you guys are right. And I would 100% admit, like, hey, I'll take the L on that. But I'm just saying there's a lot of things on both ends that just don't add up. There's some piece of the puzzle that's missing that nobody sees yet. And you know what? Here's the thing. I hope at the end of the day that this isn't true. I really would not. I don't like to see people who I admire on the platform, or other people who hell, I don't even know, but that have been on here doing this, to go down in such terrible fucking ways. And my next video will be talking about one of the biggest scandals going down around here with Mr. Beast. I've been waiting to cover that, so I'm going to do a little bit of in-depth and showing all the shit that's going on behind there. But I think at the end of the day, the thing that gets me is the fact that now my daughter is on, watches videos and things like that. And as a parent, or as somebody who does this, you would hope that a lot of people who do this platform, they try to have some kind of decorum. Like, look, at the end of the day, my name is General Zod, and I'm here in the Phantom Zone. And if you're wondering about the pink, my lovely lady did up this thing, and you know what? I don't care. I think this chair is bitchin'. I have no shame in that. But on a serious note, you would like to think the people you watch and the people you look up to, or the people that are doing this, are just doing what they do, and there's nothing nefarious about this. I think that, especially for big YouTubers who go to these cons, they meet up with other people. It is important to thoroughly make sure that that person is upholding certain standards, because at the end of the day, whether we want to or not, we are watched by a lot of other people, and there is a certain amount of decorum you should hold yourself up to. And I mean, and I would hope that that's what's being done. But apparently, given the situation going on across YouTube, I mean, you could go to any of the old school YouTubers, Shane Dawson and all these other people who used to be fucking huge on this platform, and then they all get saddled with these weird things. Now, some of them is just inappropriate things that were said at the time, which I don't think people should be accused of, because, like, the way videos used to be shot and things like that have come into question. And yeah, there's also the social aspect, which makes all of this tricky, because you don't know what it is with this ideal of you can't say certain jokes now because that's terrible. That that also factors into this. So it's very hard at the end of the day to sit here and walk this tight line of, not actually doing shit and what people consider is doing something wrong. Because I've seen a ton of cases like that too. One of the people who voiced Dragon Ball Z, Dave Mignon, I can never say his last name, but great guy. Being accused of what he was accused of, that all turned out to be bullshit. There was an actor from The Expanse who got accused of some things, was written out of the show, and come to find out, to this day, there hasn't been a shred of proof or anything that ever happened. And as a matter of fact, the person who supposedly accused him had recanted the statement. So that's what I mean. But I'm just covering this as it develops. So I really appreciate you guys coming through. Yeah. Vic Mignana. I'm sorry, man. I say that, I fucking butcher that name so bad. But yeah, Vic is a great guy. I've had a chance to meet him at a couple of cons. And the fact that he got canceled for fucking hugging a fan, that's so ridiculous. Shit like that should be called out, because that is definitively just trying to take somebody out just to take them out because their views don't match the company views. Like, that bullshit happens. But the Dr. Disrespect situation for me is different, because I feel like there's a piece of the puzzle. There's some piece in this whole thing between two sides that neither of us are seeing. And hey, I'll admit it right now, right here on this day. If it comes out and someone leaks something and Dr. D was targeted and it was all bullshit, I will come on here and say, folks, I'm taking my hat off. God, my hair looks like shit. I'm taking my hat off. Look at my crazy Joaquin hairdo. I'm taking my hat off. I throw in the flag. I was wrong. I should have fucking looked into it better. My bad. But, but the fact of the matter is that from neither sides, I have not heard clear and defining evidence. And I think the best thing for Doc, honestly, fuck NDAs or everything. I know what people are going to say, countersuits and stuff like that. I think the man has the money to fight it in court personally. But I just got to say, the best thing Doc should do is just come out with receipts, show some chat logs, and be like, hey, this is what we talked about. You can blur out the person's name to keep their anonymity and just be like, this was what was said. You know, was it a little inappropriate, a little racy? You know, that's his brand. Fine. But did I meet up with the person? Did I say anything explicit? No. And that's it. Then you clear this whole thing up. But it's like being stuck in a perpetual limbo. Like, for 4 years, nobody even knew why he got banned. And then all of this stuff comes out. And of course, it gets blown out of proportion because neither side is providing a clear-cut, definitive reason of anything. And all we can go on is he won the arbitration. But that isn't enough when you have a charge this big. Like, I don't care who it is. I feel like with being charged with talking to a minor, you would want to get in front of it and say, fuck no. I don't care if you're going to sue the look, I don't care if Twitch came to me and sent a fucking assassin at my door with a gun to my head, threatening to kill me live, and was like, no, you say something, that's fucking it. Well, then I'm going to die with people not knowing that I'm not full of shit. You're just going to have to take me out. So that's all I got for you guys. It's up in the air. Thank you very much to everybody who commented. I appreciate your comments. I appreciate the back and forth, the banter. I appreciate the different perspectives. And just know, if you come here and chill on this channel, I won't suppress your opinions, because that's what makes this world great. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Just to let you know, probably not this weekend, but next week I will be going into the whole Mr. Beast thing, because my God, that's looking like there is overwhelming amount of evidence in that case. And I'm also going to be talking about episode 2 of The Penguin, which I've been highly enjoying. So yeah, thank you, Relax Planet, and I appreciate you, and MTN Dew is awesome. I would say that's Mountain Dew is awesome, but you know, I prefer Cold Red. I don't think that's different from Mountain Dew. Whatever. I know it's a different flavor, but it's red and it tastes like cherry and it's delicious. Anyways, I'm sorry, that was Bitchy Unicorn, my better half. But thank you, everybody who did join me. Thank you for bringing up your points and debating it out, because I like to have conversation on this channel. I like to have pushback, and I like to have different perspectives, because at the end of the day, I think talking about these issues and getting different points of view is healthy, because the fucking problem with the world is that nobody wants to have a conversation. And anytime you're in my chat, you are more than welcome. Just keep it decent, keep it respectable, but you're more than welcome to comment and challenge my views and opinions on the channel. I welcome it. Thank you very much. And as always, remember, there is only one rule here in the Phantom Zone. Kneel before General Zod.